All right, before we test out our scripts, we'll have to do some setting up first. From my computer's file management program, I'm going to pull over the new Sprites and Sprite color scripts that I downloaded from the CodeHS editor. So now I have those two scripts available to use in my project. Let's take a look at all the components in the square. We'll need to make sure that there's a sprite renderer component. If you remember from the script will use this sprite renderer component from the sprites. We also need to make sure that there is a rigid body 2D component in our square sprite, and there is not. You can select the Add Component button down below and search for rigid body 2D, and then select that. It'll add the rigid body 2D component now to our square sprite. We're going to change just the gravity scale from 1 to 0. Everything else we can leave as is for this demonstration. Now, if you remember from our clone sprite script, the square game object is what we're going to be cloning. So all of the components that are available in this sprite will also act as a blueprint and be established in the new cloned game objects. So we want to make sure that those are all accurate. But we don't want to clone the new sprite's script. So how can we do that if the square sprite is also going to act as a blueprint for these new clones? Well, the solution for that is to create an empty game object. So I'm going to create empty. This will create just an empty game object that will house our script. And just so that I remember that that's what that empty game object is doing, I'm going to call it script. We don't really need to establish any other type of components here because this isn't going to be a visible game object within our scene. However, we do need to take the new sprite script that we've just downloaded and add it to our script game object. You'll see that the game object square needs to be assigned a game object. This can be any sprite that you want to have cloned. So we would like to have our square sprite cloned. So I'll click on the dot, and then I'll select on our square game object. Now that that's set up, we should be able to clone this sprite and get two other squares that will change in velocity, making them move on the screen once they're established. I'm not going to show you what happens here, but once you've got this set up, click the play mode button and see what happens to the sprites. Once you've tested the script in play mode and made some observations, you're ready to move on to the next step. Let's make this into a sort of game. What if, for each square game object sprite that's cloned, we add the sprite color script? So on the square game object, let's add that script. We'll put that all the way down here at the bottom in the inspector. All right, we don't have any properties or parameters here that we need to adjust in order for this to work. Once you've done that, select the play button again, enter play mode, and then begin clicking on the different sprites on the screen and see what happens. Once you've spent some time playing around with these two scripts in your Unity project, make some reflections about what you saw. How do you think using classes might be a way to create a whole bunch of different enemies within a game? All of these non-player characters or NPCs that really kind of look the same but have different actions or places within the game. Jot down your answers to the reflection questions and then move on to the next lesson.